Testing. Is this on? Can you check if it's on? I can't tell from here. I can't tell. Oh, because no one's there. I need friends. God. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Carpentry Nurse channel. This is the very first video. My name is John. I'm a registered nurse in the MedSurg ICU unit, and I like to dissociate from my actual job. I think it's healthy. I hope it's healthy. But so I'm doing woodworking, and I've been doing this for about 2 years or so with a couple projects. And I thought for the very first YouTube video, what about making a cutting board? Now bear with me, it's my first time making a cutting board, especially an end grain cutting board. So there's gonna be plenty of mistakes made during editing, seeing what I've done wrong on it, what I could have done better at least. Very frustrating, but for you experienced woodworkers that have built multiple of these cutting boards, please put tips and tricks down in the comments. I'll be happy to look back at them, because this is not the first time I'm going to be making cutting boards. I will be revisiting this. And if any of you have anything terrible to say, go right ahead in the comments, because I'm a nurse. I've had a lot of things said to me. So, but back to the end grain cutting boards. It was a fun process to make. I hope you're able to enjoy this process that I'm going to show you. And I don't know. I don't think I did too bad, but it's up to y'all. Thanks for joining.
Starting off with milling down some pieces of wood, I have Peruvian walnut, African mahogany, and maple ambrosia that I got from Rockwood. Only cutting them down to their widths. This is my first mistake that will prove troublesome later on. Now hear me out, this is my very first time working with Peruvian walnut. It is amazing. It cuts like butter, smells like cotton candy. I just had to smell it. Moving on to the first part of assembly. Currently it's 3 a.m. I have an 8-hour drive ahead of me to see my brother for his birthday, and I'm trying to be as quiet as I can, but these new bar clamps from Harbor Freight decided to test my sleep-deprived strength. As soon as I get this functioning, I'll be able to glue these boards up and leave them to dry for the 5 days I'll be vacationing. Okay, so if you can't notice it here, you will in the next scene. This is where my poor milling in the beginning starts causing problems. Having different widths on these boards made it difficult to have a flat side. I thought the bar clamps would be enough, but cauls would have been better. However, since my pieces of wood are uneven, cauls wouldn't have worked anyways. Here you can see how uneven these boards are. This is where I reap what I sow from the beginning. I am now having to take off much more material than I would have liked to flatten these boards out. Using plywood cut to 13 inches, same width as my planer, to act as a sled and help get these boards flat. This is where taking too much off the top tested my planer and my power, but after fixing the breaker, I was able to finish up these boards. At this stage, these boards are currently edge and face grain cutting boards. I could be done, but I am making end grain cutting boards. So I'm going to be cutting these boards down to usable sizes. As you can see, there is snipe from the planer, so I'll be cutting that snipe off of these boards. I didn't really plan out completely what I wanted to do. I didn't know how much material I would have, in all honesty, so I'm just doing some quick maths to determine how thick I would like the cutting boards to be, and the thickness and width of the boards currently will help determine the length and width of the boards after I glue them back up. Back to the table saw, I have cut the ends off and now I'm cutting these boards into strips. The width I'm cutting these strips to will be the thickness of the cutting boards. If my quick maths and brief explanation was confusing, right here in the video I am cutting 3/4 inch strips and turning them 90 degrees where the end grain is facing out. This is why the 3/4 inch is the thickness of the new board I will be making. Last part of assembly, this is where I'm organizing each of the strips to the best orientation and gluing them up. Thankfully, cutting them to the same exact width defeats the problems I had in the first glue up, but I still never use cauls to align them, so there is going to be quite a bit of sanding to be done afterwards. After that glue up, cutting these boards to their final sizes, I could have done a little bit more accurate cuts, but I got too excited after seeing the boards after glue up and I just sent it. So putting on the finishing touches after hours and hours of sanding, there is a ton of expensive jigs or even homemade jigs that make the finishing touches portion easier. But I just did not have the time to entertain those jigs. So taking some scrap pieces of wood, and you've seen me use it throughout the video, X-fastened tape, which is I would say the best woodworking tape out there. Use these pieces of wood and tape to just create a simple guide for the router. Time to finish these boards off properly with a nice oil and lather. It couldn't have been done without Real Milk Paints Company's half and half mix. It's a tongue oil and citrus solvent mix. They aren't asking me to say anything, but I do recommend this product. The smell is amazing, the color the oil can bring out of these woods, and the longevity of these boards the mix can extend is awesome.
It's me back again. I am filming the intro and the outro for this at the same time, so that's why it looks like nothing has changed from the beginning and the end of this video. Great detective skills if you noticed it. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching the video. I don't know what you're still doing here. I don't have any sponsorships, so I don't have anything to say, but I do have one thing to say. I would like to end off, or at least promote something on my YouTube channel at least, and each YouTube video is going to be something different. So at my job, at my hospital, we are in partnership with American Heart Association, and we're going to be doing the Heart Walk here shortly. And I created a team for my unit. We're called the PEEPs. Med-Surg ICU is mainly pulmonary or the lungs, and PEEP is just if you know, you know. I'm not going to try to explain it on her, but we're called the PEEPs, and there's going to be a link in the description below where you can find information about this Heart Walk. American Heart Association does a great job of promoting research and funding different kinds of research and programs that will better our lifestyle, better our cardiac health. And it's one thing I just want to put out there. So it's either going to be up on the video, the link is, or down in the comments, or description, I mean. And if you happen to want to donate or do a little bit more research or look in your area about a heart walk or see what American Heart Association is doing in your area, by all means, like I said, it's going to be in the description below, and check it out. If you are in the area of the First Coast Heart Walk and you know about it, join. It's a lot of fun. It's my first time. I've heard it's a lot of fun, at least. It's my first time doing it. It's a couple miles of a walk, but you get to meet a lot of people. I've heard so many great things, and there's so many vendors there. So come out and enjoy. And thanks for watching the video.